Hi there, here is the Elm Street fanatic 1428, providing the final part, currently speaking, for in my In Defense series for the most beloved entries in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. We first started with part 5, The Dream Child, then we did the remake. Then after the remake, we did Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, and now we're gonna cap it off with the only one that doesn't have that has somewhat of a negative reputation amongst fans. All the others are great, and same as these movies, they're all great in my opinion. But I feel like these four get some hate, and irrationally so. I do believe it's an irrational hatred, and And here's basically what we're going to do. In this one, we're talking about Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, which is the first sequel to the original 1984 classic masterpiece by Wes Craven, Nightmare on Elm Street. This is the first sequel, which is jumping off the success of that film um, gave birth to this film and the franchise in general, this wonderful franchise. And we got Freddy's Dead, the final Freddy's Revenge here. Now, the film is the major complaints that this film receives is mainly complaints about its depending on whatever way you view it upon, whatever your viewpoint is, there's no way around it. There's either undertones or overtones of homosexuality in this film, and I think that those undertones or overtones or however you see this film as, really expresses really adds to the film's charm, and I gotta be honest. Those homosexual undertones add to the film's charm, in my opinion, and it makes it It makes it a deeper film. I understand that those undertones may not be deliberate upon the filmmakers, but films are here. They're art, and they're here for us to discuss and ponder, and to provide our own little takes, our own little perspectives, and to discuss them. And I think in Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge has them, and I really think it adds to the depth of the film. Um, Basically, the plot of this film is it takes place. Oh, by the way, the opening dream sequence in this film is one of the best scenes of the franchise. One of the best opening scenes. It's dark. You get to see this dreary presentation of Jesse Jesse on the bus, and then you get this awesome. I love the way the little hell's the scene, and it's one of the most damning feelings ever. And then the rest of the film features Jesse Walsh, respectively, dealing with high school life. This one's pretty much the closest in tone to the original, I think. But most part twos are close to the tone of the original Friday 13th Part 2. Although I don't really care for Friday 13th Part 2, by the way. That's pretty much very similar in mood and feel to the original Friday 13th. And Halloween 2. Halloween 2 also is very much like the mood and feel of the original. In some levels, it amps up the gore a little bit. Um, it amps up the gore a little bit. I gotta be honest. I prefer Halloween 2, the original 1981 version, over this one, but I still love this one, as I love all the other Nightmare on Elm Street films. But back to the topic at hand. This film really copies the tone and feel of the original, but adding its own little thing to it. It adds its own little expansion on the narrative with the possession element. The possession element, which would return in Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare with Spencer. Yeah, you get the possession element, which I feel is a brilliant move. This actually has a lot of similarities to a really great movie called Amityville 2: The Possession. This and that movie have a lot in common, because they both feature people newly moving into a house, and they have some possession scenes, one about a boy. I think they have a lot in common. Probably gonna do a video at some point, comparing those two films. Anyways, Nightmare on Elm Street 2. You got one of the best characters, in my opinion. My favorite character in the whole entire franchise is in this film, and that's Grady, played by Robert Ressler, Vamp, and Weird Science fame. I love Robert Ressler in this film. It's like super fucking badass to see Robert Ressler in this film, and I think Robert Ressler did a great job at playing the character of Grady. Um, just like I forgot the actress name. The girl who played Lisa, she made an appearance in Hellraiser Bloodline. She did a great job. I really liked Lisa as a character, as a friend to Jesse in this film. I really do think Lisa was a very kind girl, very respectful, and she is a great character in this film. I really love her appearance in this film. Another thing cool about this film is it's dark. It's probably the darkest entry in the franchise. I really do believe that this one is pretty much the darkest entry in the franchise. The original is a dark film. Don't get me wrong. But the way this film, the mood and feel of this particular entry is very, very dark. It's a very dark feeling. At least with the original Nightmare on Elm Street, you had some bit of fun with Nancy, Glenn, and Tina before Freddy really came in. And but this one, Freddy's a little bit more eviler than the original. He's a little bit more evil than he is in the original. And by the way, the makeup job on this particular Freddy is spot on. I really like this different take on the look. Pretty much all the installments besides this New Nightmare and the remake have a similar look. Similar look to Freddy, and I like the look of this particular Freddy. And I like that we had not a glove, but the knives, the finger knives are pretty much are in the bone in the finger in that one scene. I love that this. I love the pool party scene. The pool party scene is one of the most badass things in horror cinema. I want to know why? Because it broke a lot of rules. It broke a lot of defined rules for a slasher film. Usually slasher films have people being picked off one by one or whatever. This one blew it slowed in a good way. blew its load in a good way by having Freddy just pop out and just wreak havoc on a pool party. I really like that. I really think that's a badass scene. I like it when Lisa's going off to defeat Freddy, and I like how you could pick up a reference that her love and nurture for all of Jesse is what defeated his self-doubt, which is manifested in the form of Freddy, manifested in the form of Freddy in this film. I like that you could pick up on certain details like that in this film. Um, I have one. There's a few complaints. There's actually just one complaint, but it still got overwhelmed by the scenes, by something really cool happening. That's the scene when Jesse and his PE coach, played by who made appearance in Stand By Me. I love Stand By Me, by the way. But who doesn't love Stand By Me? But he made appearance in Stand By Me. It's that guy. And he basically, the PE coach, saw Jesse at a weird S&M joint, and then it was off hours. Off hours. He forced Jesse to do a PE session off hours. I'm like saying, I'm not sure about the law in 1985 and how they would tackle subject matters like that, but I'm pretty sure that in 1985, that would be an illegal thing for him to do, to force a student to go and do a PE session off hours. But other than that, it led to one of the killing and the complete harassment of that character. Because that character was kind of an asshole. Overall, I don't get how anybody could hate on A Nightmare on Elm Street 2: Freddy's Revenge. I think that the film is a really, really terrific installment in the franchise. I really think that Nightmare on Elm Street 2: Freddy's Revenge is, without a doubt, a true benchmark in the Nightmare on Elm Street legacy. Sorry about that. But anyways, back to our original topic. A Nightmare on Elm Street 2: Freddy's Revenge is a masterpiece of horror cinema, as all the Nightmare on Elm Street films are, and I love it. And I think it's one of those films that it's probably the one that's least family friendly. I wouldn't suggest watching Nightmare on Elm Street 2: Freddy's Revenge. The film that has a guy getting smacked in the ass by a towel, and again, footballs thrown at him by Freddy. I wouldn't suggest this to bring out some coffee and relax and watch with the family, but on your personal self, I guess bring out the coffee, bring out the popcorn, and sit down and relax and watch A Nightmare on Elm Street 2: Freddy's Revenge, because it's a really great film, and I believe that it deserves a lot of love, a lot of praise, because it's a really great film. I could go on for days about it. I rank it as my fourth favorite. You already know this, but I'll bring it up. I'm a repetitive bastard. I'm sorry, but the original is number one in my place. Then after the original, got part 4, The Dream Master, and then part 3. Then my third spot is Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, and this is my fourth favorite film in the franchise. I love this film, and I think you would love it too if you set aside, this. It set aside, the irrational. Not the irrational, but set aside, your disdain for homosexual references, and watch it as a legitimately good film, as it is. I think you'll like it. Anyways, this is the Elm Street Fanatic. Please like and comment, subscribe, and I'll be back for more Elm Street related videos. And I hope that you like this video. Bye.